TED Talks are given by people with expertise. Doctors, scientists, change makers. I couldn't claim an area of expertise myself, but I have spent my years creating small obsessions. Languages, crafts, dance routines, ideas. If it teaches me something, I'm in, whether that be through a book or through a bruised ego. And that's what led me here. I wanted to explore the idea of self-improvement, not as a polished product, but more as a continuous process, through the only lens that I can offer, my own. We are often told that change is the only constant, right? But I kind of gotta disagree with that, because I think that the only true constant in our life, through change and through stagnation, is ourselves. Us. We are stuck in this body for as long as we are alive, however long that may be, and we have to face the consequences of our actions, as well as anything that life comes hurling on at us. So if we are stuck in the situation, why not try to get to know this person a little bit better? Why not try to get to do this whole living thing a little bit better? And that's what led me here. Throughout this talk, I use an analogy that is very near and dear to me. It's called life is soup, I am fork. Now think about that for a second. It's not a spoon, it's a fork. And this fork, it has 3 prongs, and each prong retains the integrity of the fork. Because without one prong, we would have this, and without the second prong, we would have that. Diminishing utility, right? My point is, a lot of the times we are not given a metaphoric concave spoon to work with, right? We're given a flat fork with gaps in it where the rest of the metal is supposed to be. So no matter how much of life's soup you think you're scooping up, you're really only picking up about 40% of it. And so the demand for wholeness or success in every bite, every endeavor, rejects you from the start. So if failure means not succeeding, yet we are born with some inevitable shortcomings that guarantee some failures, then what is failure? And how do we succeed? That brings me to our first prong, failure. Failure is something that everybody is very good at. Thanks to a society that easily points out flaws, everyone can do it on a frequent basis and everybody can get called out for it. Consider this idea of rejection, alright? I've been rejected many times by people, by professionals, and frankly, I still can't take it because it is not in our intrinsic psyche to face rejection. We like being validated. We like things working out exactly how they're supposed to, and rejection changes that. So it is a kind of failure, right? And so if it is something you're made to fear or be upset by, failure that is, then it strives for you to be better, for you to succeed. So there's nothing wrong with this outlook in theory, right? Fear works. Except not really. Because us living in the day and age that we do, 2025, it's a bit dangerous to overlook it this way. We live in a day and age where some people older than us used to consume all of this content in their lifetime that we consume in one day. It's a little bit scary, actually. So in this situation, what are we meant to do? How are we meant to cope with these countless possibilities that are coming towards us faster than we can anticipate them, or faster than we can keep up with them? How do we deal with it? Well, maybe in the situation, failure could come into play. Maybe failure could act as a set of bearings. Like a process of elimination of what might work for us and what might not. Without failure, we may never know what to do in this endless realm of possibilities. For example, could I please have a quick raise of hands if you know exactly what it is you want to do with your life forever and ever, until the end of time? Congratulations to the 2 or 3 of you. And could I have a quick raise of hands if every time a relative or anybody asks you for the umpteenth time what it is you want to do with your life, some mildly violent scenarios start playing in your head? Okay, I relate. So for the latter of us, we need failure. I know that I keep failing, and frankly, I'm still happy to. So it's not, oh no, I failed. It's more, okay, I failed. What is that telling me? Because at the end of the day, it is the amount of trials, the amount of experiences on your belt that you have that matter, not the amount of strokes of luck that we have. Okay, prong number 2, learning. Learning is a very broad word, right? It could refer to the educational outcomes, or it could also refer to the inevitable outcome of experience. Learning is an outcome of experience. And maybe to understand the latter, we could take a look at the former. You must be familiar with this. You must have come across at some point in your life the learning styles, visual, hands-on, even musical, linguistic, all of these things, right? But as of this year, it has been scientifically proven that these learning styles don't really improve learning outcomes. They're comfortable ideas, but they are not realistic ones. Because real learning happens when you have the information with you and it is your turn to make sense of it, not the way that it comes to you. So it is not in the input, it is in the processing. And that brings me to the main part of this prong, which is metacognition, which is a process of observing your own thoughts as you are thinking them. It's like holding up a mirror to your brain in real time. A few months ago, something very tragic happened in my family. It wasn't, the demise of anybody or anything, but it shook something quietly foundational in my family. And my sister came and tried to talk to me about it. And me being the person I am, I completely deflected. I joked, I swerved. And then it happened again. But this time, she called me out. I said, I'm not avoiding anything. But I thought, even if I was, who am I harming? Turns out, her. Everyone, really. Because by pretending things were fine, I was silently implying that if she felt otherwise, she was the problem. So it happened again. I swerved, joked, tried to change the subject like it was a reflex, and it was a reflex. But this time, when that urge came, that urge to swerve or change the topic, something caught me. This voice in my brain saying, this is familiar, but also, why am I doing this? And then it clicked. I had successfully trained my brain to completely avoid painful emotions, run away from them, because imagining or visualizing something painful happening to the people I love was physically unbearable to me. And so, I performed this way. I deflected, did anything except try to confront about it. Which was wrong, right? And I think that every time that hand reaches out, I'm unlearning the instinct to run. So next time you get triggered or upset, so instead of doing what I did, or instead of grabbing up your phone to scroll or to chat or do anything except face yourself, that almost clickable moment where you are the last person that you want to be spending time with, that's when you might want to give it a try. That's when it might just matter a little bit more than otherwise. Okay, prong number 3, self-discovery, aka the offspring of failure, learning, and our bowl of life. You know, for something so sought after, it is surprisingly rare to get to this prong. I am still getting there. Because it's not innate. Because since the awakening, of our consciousness, we are told exactly what to do. We are told exactly what to like. We're told exactly what to stigmatize, when to cover our ears, when to cover our eyes, and when to cover our mouths. So we never act like who we are, with our strange magic and our perks or anything. We act like how we want people to think we act. Why? Well, it's biological. A study in 2003 from a medical journal called Science proved that social injuries like humiliation, judgment, rejection are treated by our brain as physical injuries. Our brain does not even treat physical injuries as physical injuries. A follow-up study by PNAS confirmed that recalling these social injuries, or social hurts, we could call them, brings the pain back. Because from an evolutional standpoint, we need to remain part of the tribe to survive. We need to be included to survive. And so we bend. We try to be agreeable. And in doing so, we lose track of who we are. There's a book. It's one of my favorite books of all time. It's called 101 Essays That Can Change the Way You Think. That Will Change the Way You Think. And in the last essay, the 101st essay, Brianna Wiest writes that self-discovery is not really a discovery. We think it's the idea of holding yourself emotionally in a higher regard. But in reality, it's the smaller things. It's like standing up for yourself. It's like having the courage to keep going. It's like having the courage to quit. And maybe the most dangerous thing of never engaging with our emotional wounds, never failing, never learning, never reflecting, is that we become socially programmed robots. We smile on cue. We agree with each other, even when we actually don't agree with each other. And then we end up facing existential crises, emotional stagnation, imposter syndrome, at random stages of our life. And we never really know why. We never really grow up. Because we haven't discovered ourselves yet. And so, if life is soup and I'm fork, maybe the point of it is not to get it all. Maybe the point of it is to get used to this weird emotion of being dipped in a warm bowl of soup and being inserted into somebody's mouth. A bit of a gruesome picture, I know, but nothing in life is perfect. Nothing in life is going to come out the way we want for it to. Because a fork is not broken, it is just not made for everything. And neither are we. But if we fail with intention, we learn, and we discover with honesty, it might just be enough to make this whole thing a little bit more bearable. To make this whole living thing a bit more bearable. And I'm not going to end this talk with a set of actions or instructions for you to take because, again, no expertise. But all I can hope for from this talk is for you to have a glimmer of understanding of how important it really is for you to engage with your emotional wounds, to use these 3 prongs, and to not beat yourselves up too much when things get rough. Thank you.